Opening drive for the Riders. But a foot to go. And looks like a mix-up handing off to Corey Sheets. And a good gain for first down and more. As he takes it down to the Montreal 30. Might be my imagination, Dwayne, but it looked like a little bit of a delay on that handoff, whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah, it did appear as if there was some confusion between Durant and his running back Sheets, but good adjustment by one or the other to get things figured out as Durant opened left, Sheets went right. A good reaction from the Rider QB to find his running back. Good productive play on the ground, good push from that offensive line. Good
1,000-yard season on the ground, too, for Corey Sheets. He's been a big part of the story of success here in Saskatchewan in 2012. Under pressure, the Alouettes have taken him down. Coming in, it is Briette, the linebacker, in there for Montreal. Marc-Olivier Briette with the sack, and that pushes Saskatchewan way back.
And Briette comes in. Usually he's in spelling Shea Emery in that linebacking core, but the two of them are in together. Emery drops out. Briette comes on the blitz. Mix up on the offensive line. Newcomer Johan Asiata is in there at left tackle. His first start of the year at left tackle. He's played a little bit of guard, also filled in on the right for a game against Calgary, but just maybe a miscommunication there as he failed to come off and pick up that blitz.
Briette playing with a fractured wrist too, has a cast on that. Big play. And right back down. A flag is down as that ball falls incomplete in the area of Chris Getzlaf. So it looks like another first down for Saskatchewan.
It's interference. Montreal, number 11. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
And Chip Cox right at the top of the screen. You can see that right hand tugging on the jersey of Chris Getzlaf, impeding him from getting to that football. That exposed shoulder pad always makes it an easy call for the officials.
A little more evidence, isn't it? Didn't do this myself.
Smoking gun.
1st and 10 now. This is the Riders' first possession, and it's a good one with the breeze at their back. Picking up the blitz, stopping the rim, looking for Getzlaf in the end zone, and the coverage very tight by Billy Parker, and it falls incomplete. Second down.
One where Darian Durant probably got locked in a little bit. Chris Getzlaf well covered on the play by Billy Parker. Defender right in his hip pocket. Perfectly timed jump and tip. Parker's become a mainstay over at that boundary corner position.
Ball at the Alouette 25. Drive started at the Rider 42. The 7th play coming up here in the first quarter at Mosaic Stadium. Quick over the middle, complete again. Drive continuing to Weston Dressler, the leading receiver of the Roughriders, with his first catch of the day, and it puts Saskatchewan in business down at the Montreal 11.
The Alouettes are in straight man coverage here. They're following their matchups. The guy they put on Weston Dressler was Gerald Brown on this play, but just a quick hitter with Brown at depth. Dressler makes that break, and typical timing between Durant and his favorite receiver.
The 4th first down of this opening drive for the Riders, and it has them in the red zone, in scoring position, and handing off to Sheets, trying to bust his way through the middle, where yardage is so tough and does get inside the 10. Still, though, 2nd and long, and a big play coming up here for both teams early in this ball game.
Well, terrific opening drive here for Darian Durant and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We talk about it all the time playing against the Montreal Alouettes, that it's not just up to your defense to slow down Anthony Calvillo, but you also require your offense to eat up a little bit of time on the clock and keep number 13 off the field, keep your defense fresh.
A 5.5-minute drive so far on Saskatchewan's first possession. They have the ball inside the 10. It is 2nd down, and an end zone look coming. To the 3, not quite. Caught, put down there by McHenry. Scott McHenry with the catch. Now this will be interesting. It is close to first down yardage for the Riders. He did put it down and it went out of bounds. And it does come down to the 1.
Drew Willie and the short yardage team will come in here, but clutch catch on a big play by Scott McHenry, a guy who's done a nice job filling in, started this season as a backup fullback on this Rider roster.
And yet another first down, the 5th of the drive, setting up 1st and goal. And as you will see, Drew Willie, the backup who played all the game against Montreal the last time, is in this short yardage situation. Looking to put the first points on the board. Willie fakes the handoff, puts it in, Rider touchdown. Graham Bell picks up the first points of the game.
Not just the first touchdown of the season for Graham Bell, that's his first touch of the ball. Element of surprise for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Nice bit of play calling there from their OC, Bobby Dice. Graham Bell just in motion, comes up from the backfield like he's going to block off the edge for Corey Sheets. Nobody accounts for him in terms of coverage, anticipating that block. Slips out uncovered into the flat.
What's that?
So JT O'Sullivan will put it down for Sandro DeAngelis with the point after. And with the wind at their backs, a great start for the Riders. Driving the length of the field, more than half of it anyway, leading to this. The touchdown by Graham Bell. 7-0 Riders, the CFL on TSN.
Saskatchewan Husky, his first touch of the season. Guy who's been a special team stalwart, plays on that short yardage team. And for the Montreal Alouettes, they're strictly anticipating that he's going to be motioning from that backfield as a blocker, whether it's going to be a sneak from Drew Willie or a handoff to Corey Sheets. But Bell, a guy who's played a little bit of slot back in his career, pretty good hands, slipped out into the flat.
So the Riders up a touchdown, and Dwight Anderson in the receiving end of that kick from Sandro DeAngelis, and he gets up across the 25, about the 27-yard line to begin another drive for Anthony Calvillo and that Alouette offense. Seven 0 Saskatchewan here in Regina. So the Alouettes will try to respond after Saskatchewan, for only the second time, got a touchdown on their opening possession of the ball game to lead it. 7-0. Anthony Calvillo, 501 yards shy of 78,000 for his career coming into this ball game. Working against the wind. Their second drive of the game. Time keeps Sholigan, nearly had him, and he goes down anyway. Sholigan got a mid on him, and Calvillo went down at his 20.
All three Riders in that backfield, led by Keith Sholigan. Big defensive tackle, his first game back from injury. Getting a push up the middle of that defensive line. Andrew Woodruff tried to cut. Sholigan was ready, played it perfectly with the hands to pin him down. Threw into Calvillo's face.
So a loss for the Alouettes, setting up a second and long. Faking a handoff, rolling out, and to his right near first down yardage, but just shy for Jamel Richardson. Up near the 40 for Montreal, but it'll still be third down, and a punting situation into the breeze for Montreal.
Keith Sholigan on this play thought he might have a shot at another sack, but keep an eye on Chris Jennings. Sholigan's going to come from the far right of the screen. Beats his man in this slide protection, but Jennings right there to step up, stone him at the line of scrimmage. Give Calvillo that time to get outside, but the Riders secondary comes up big, making the stop in front of the sticks.
Sean White had a good punt over 40 yards against the breeze the first time. Tristan Jackson standing back inside the Saskatchewan 40. So the Riders, as you might expect for a team with the wind at their back, will have good field position again for possession number 2. They fake it, trying to get that first down yardage. The Alouettes with the fake. Brouillette taking the direct snap and going through as they are signaling. Did they get close enough to get that first down? So a little trickery for Montreal here, trying to catch the Riders off guard. Marc-Olivier Brouillette.
Desperately trying to get a little bit of momentum going here and keep their offense on the field in the early going after that 6.5-minute touchdown drive by the Roughriders. Brouillette is one of the upbacks in the line that you see here. Catches the snap with the other three guys lead blocking for him.
And now a challenge flag has come out on the spot of the football. They had awarded a first down to Montreal. Corey Chamberlain is going to challenge that and wants a measurement.
Yeah, this is a good challenge by Corey Chamberlain, as it looks like Briette was tripped up a little bit behind where that ball was placed. So Briette is the man staggered back slightly in that.
And
you can see he's down.
Definitely down
before
the 40.
The ball is right there. Clearly ahead of the 40-yard line.
The ruling of a spot on third down. We will review the play.
And it does look like he's down before that 40-yard line, and they have the ball spotted, looks like right at the 40. So this may be a very good challenge for the Riders.
Corey Chamberlain's spotters up above doing a nice job to locate that on the replay. Bit of an above look here. Briette, number 10, right at the top of your screen. There's the ball as he's down. And that's probably at least at the 39, if not behind the 39, Rod.
And what a pivotal moment of the game this is. If the Alouettes are to turn it over on downs and give Saskatchewan, with that breeze, the ball at the Montreal 40. And based on what we saw, that ball should be a little closer towards the 39 and a half maybe, which would not be a first down. As it stands, it's right on the 40-yard line. So taking a while to review it. There's Briette. But an interesting game so far. You see the cast on his wrist with a fracture in there. He had a sack early on of Darian Durant and what looked like a big play for Montreal and a fake punt first down, although that first down is now under review. And check it out again.
And you can clearly see where that marker is, right at the 40-yard line. That's where he's got to get to. Interesting to see Briette, by the way, staggered back. That may be a bit of a key as to the fake coming, that the snap is going to come to him, so it's not as tight an angle for the long snapper. You see him down, and one question here has to be, did he trip on his own man? If he tripped on his own man, he'd have to be touched by a Saskatchewan player in order to be ruled down. Well, even that comes behind the 40-yard line.
Did he get touched?
And it looks more like a collision with his own man pushed in, but there he's touched by the Saskatchewan defender going over top of him.
And that is still not up to the 40. So that spot was generous, certainly by the way we see it here, as they are taking a long time to review it. As I said, it does look like it should be Saskatchewan football. I guess depends on how they interpret how Briette went down. He clearly went down before the 40, but would he have been allowed to move that ball across the 40 if no one did touch him? It looked like he was. What do you think about the decision, by the way, in this situation at this point of the game to fake that punt anyway?
Well, if they get good execution, they probably get that first down. It's a little bit of a gamble. You know, I mean, typically when you think a little bit closer to midfield is where a fake is going to occur, a little bit further forward than they were. But you know, I tend to be a believer in playing to win rather than playing not to lose. And when you consider that wind that they're going against, they're not in a hurry to kick it from their own 40-yard line either.
This review is now taken over 5 minutes long. And finally, I think we have a resolution to it, as the Riders are
after review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Montreal.
Well, the only thing I can think of there is even after he touched the ground, he was able to progress. He hadn't been touched. That must be what they decided.
Yeah, if they feel that the touch from the player over top of him wasn't clear.
So he was down before the 40, but he did move the ball across the 40. And that must be the interpretation on that review. So after more than 5 minutes, and the sea of green here does not like it, the drive continues for the Alouettes. down by 7. Ball at their 40. Calvillo calling out the signals. Standing at shotgun at his 35 and handing off. Jennings turning it back, trying to find some room. And does pick up a bit with Brackenridge. Making the stop for Saskatchewan. And a gain of about 4 yards for Montreal.
Nice job by Saskatchewan to turn Chris Jennings back to the inside there. Meanwhile, for this Montreal Alouette team, the story of their injuries, particularly on offense in that receiving corps. You look at the guys they're missing, Brandon Whitaker, S.J. Green, 2 guys both over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. Brandon London having a breakout year. Patrick Lavoie, one of the league's top rookies. Victor Anderson, the backup running back, and of course their #1 return man, Trent Guy.
Calvillo passing and completing it. And a good pickup there by Noel Devine for another first down across midfield for the Alouettes. Devine, one of many receivers that Calvillo had connected with this season, 14 in all coming into this game, to give you an idea how much turnover there's been in that Montreal offense.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, Chris Jennings is a guy who's a bit of a bigger back, more of a power back than you would label a Brandon Whitaker or a Victor Anderson. But what Noel Devine gives them as a guy who's a running back playing a little bit of receiver as well is a little bit more of that scat back element. Former University of West Virginia star, well known as a very good kick returner in the college ranks.
That was a gain of 15. First down, Calvillo. Flushed out to the right, dumping it off that way and just throwing it away off near the Alouette bench. So it'll be second down with about 2 minutes to go, 2:10 on the clock until first quarter time. And a good drive now, aided, some might add, by that review that looked like a generous spot on that third down gamble, but it does continue. The second possession for Montreal in this game. And with that wind going against them, forget about points, just to kill some of that clock going against a pretty stiff breeze. A good drive going here for Montreal.
Always one of your goals, eat up that 20-second clock between plays, slow things down when you're against that wind.
Calvillo standing at midfield. Wide open. Off to the right is Jennings. Inside the 45, down near the 40 of Saskatchewan, near another Montreal first down.
Well, not exactly a throw that's going to make it onto Anthony Calvillo's career highlight tape, but it got the job done, hitting the running back Jennings out in the flat. The 220-pounder did the rest to get out near that first down marker. Jennings just shoots out completely uncovered. A bit of a mix-up for the Roughriders in terms of coverage assignments there.
With Odell Willis providing the pressure on Calvillo and pushing him out to the right. Jennings, the third feature back in this offense after the injury to Brandon Whitaker, who's out for the season. You see how close that one is. It is a first down, uncontested. Whitaker and then Victor Anderson, who is out week to week with a concussion, so it is Jennings' turn now. But all teams have had to deal with injuries, and in terms of Mark Trestman's time with Montreal, this has been by far the most severe. And in some ways, why he is so proud of Calvillo. You heard Matt Dunnigan talking about it earlier, that in some ways this is Calvillo's best year, even though the stats don't bear it out. It's what he's had to deal with. And now they know coming into this game they will get the bye. They will be one win away from getting back to the Grey Cup game, and that is especially important to a team as banged up as they are.
Well, one of the things we've seen from Calvillo is a decline in his completion percentage, which has a lot to do with the timing between he and his receivers.
Crowd is picking it up. Calvillo's out and talking to his receivers now. And a timeout called by the Alouettes as Calvillo was trying to change the call and couldn't hear with the crowd picking up now.
Well, and you have to also believe in terms of a little bit of confusion with those assignment and adjustments when you have a group of guys that haven't done it together over the course of the last several years, as you would get if you have S.J. Green in that lineup, if you have Brandon Whitaker in that lineup, even a guy like Brandon London now into his third year with the Montreal Alouettes, guys who are familiar with it, that can recognize a lot of things without necessarily having to hear that call from Anthony Calvillo.
Calvillo's point about it was, why complain? Won't change anything and just generate negative energy. Just roll with what you're given, and this is what he's doing right now on a first down. Taking it to Jennings. No, he did take it. Jennings with the ball and picks up about 3 or 4 yards down near around the Saskatchewan 36. 1:07 on the clock. It'd be one thing not to get scored on anymore in this windy first quarter when they're going into it. It'd be something so much better when you consider the circumstances if they can put points on the board, even a field goal. They got to get a little closer, I would think.
That's a nice response here for the Montreal Alouettes, but in terms of getting to that field goal range, you're dead on, Rod. We watched the kickers during warm-up, and you wouldn't want to try anything from much beyond the 40-yard line against the wind today.
Michael Ola in at tight end with a flag down and dumping it off. It's Richardson. Jamel Richardson down on the receiving end. A flag came out just as the ball was snapped.
We've seen a lot of different looks and personnel from the Alouettes here. As you saw Michael Ola and Ryan Bauman at tight ends.
Procedure, Montreal, illegal formation. 5-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
And along with that, those different personnel packages, people playing in spots where they're not necessarily accustomed, that's where you get that illegal formation call.
And the Alouettes use this a lot. Bauman himself, an offensive lineman, has come in at end, and he caught a pass a couple of weeks ago in their game against Winnipeg. He has 3 receptions this year. They will use them. Ola, Bauman in those formations. They got flagged for that one, though, and put back. Richardson inside the 25. First down, Alouettes with 7 seconds and counting to go. Let the clock run out until quarter time. And Montreal on the verge of getting on the board here.
Well, after the penalty, they go right back to the same guy in the same area of the field. Richardson, as you saw, sold that stem to the outside before breaking back. After he got the hips of the defensive back, Eddie Russ turned to the outside, crossed his face to get open in the middle of the field.
So once again, Bauman and Ola are out in pass-eligible formation. Handing off to Jennings, busts a tackle, gets down to close to the 15 for Saskatchewan as quarter time arrives here at Mosaic Stadium.